Hey, what's up guys? Jack here with MTS, and what's happening with my audio here? Are we live? We're live. We're doing good. Things are happening. Yeah, my audio is just being a pain in the butt here. So, yeah, I mean, this is kind of more of an impromptu stream that I haven't really planned out, so I just kind of figured we could go through some things that have been happening recently as of late. So first off, I'm going to come over here to my computer here, and I'm rendering a video right now that's going to be going live hopefully tomorrow. So this is going to be the first episode of Ride Along, which is essentially just going to be a series where I'll be posting these maybe like once a month, and it's going to be videos where it's like a series of different things that I'll have been doing throughout the month, throughout the week, whatever. Just smaller projects where making a dedicated video for it wouldn't exactly be an option. Yeah, just because those projects would be kind of boring unless they were strung together in more of a longer form video fashion. So that's what I have going on right now. The next thing is, in last week's stream, was it last week's stream? It's either last week's stream or 2 weeks ago. I accidentally showed some of the EA stuff from Ubiquity. If you were watching live, you would have seen that. If you watched the replay was an edited version, so it didn't have that in there. But Ubiquity released some new toys, and I have them on the way right now. I love how it's like free 2-day shipping. 5 days later, your order still hasn't shipped yet. So yeah, it's 2-day shipping, but they'll just take a long time to ship it, so I don't know. But I've been working on another network video, so full-on network installation in a house for it was my old neighbor. He used to live right next door to me, but now he moved away, so he's like 20 minutes away now. But yeah, so I'm working on that video for you all, and I've been putting a lot of time into making sure that all the cabling and everything is as neat as possible. It's kind of more of an OCD thing than anything else. So yeah, it's cabling that'll be covered up by a ceiling that you'll never see again, but it's quality that I know is there, and also I highly doubt any inspector is gonna have a problem with it. So he's finishing his basement, and he's gonna have the electrical stuff and the framing inspected before all the drywall goes up. So I have to have all of that pass inspection. So we're running some network cables for him and installing a rack. We're also going to be doing security stuff later, and that's going to include deploying a UDM Pro and some other cameras. But yeah, so that's what I have in the works. You'll see a little bit of that in the episode of Ride Along. That'll be again coming out on Wednesday. I'm just playing with an old screen protector here. Yeah, so that's really what I have going on. Today I also wanted to take a look at some questions that I've been getting in the comments and kind of answer them as one big stream, or at least investigate them so that way I can reply to people. So I'm just going to come and take a look at the comments here so far. Same experience with the shipping. U6 lights finally shipped after forever, been waiting so long. Also snagged something from EA. Yeah, you did. Did you get the email? Did you get the email, Alex? Because I got that email, and as soon as I did it while I was running a bunch of networking stuff with Mr. Evans. I'm like, drop everything. I need to buy this. Yeah. All right. So, I'm gonna get it logged into my UDM here, just real quick. Also, I've been doing more crypto mining. So I don't run a big crypto farm or anything, but I just have, 2 computers here, my live streaming computer and my main desktop. I got a 2060 and a 2070. So, hey, making a little bit of money on the side. So that's been going pretty good. So I'm going to come and get logged into my whatchamacallit here, my UDM Pro. All right, cool. I'm gonna come to my screen here. I want to come over to devices, and I have my UDM Pro, the USB Flex, and the APAC Pro. Oh, the APAC Pro needs to be connected. I forgot about that. Hang on, let me run this cable real quick. I used the cable that I, for my big cable comparison video, which did not do well. People, well, I've gotten good feedback on the video. It's just not a lot of people have seen it yet, so hoping that video can still be generating some traffic, because I put a lot of work into that video. Had to reach behind a cabinet there, sorry. I put a lot of work into that video to try and make it as good as possible. Tested a bunch of different cables, but so the cable that I used for testing here, I used in that video. So I need to reconnect all of that. The camera that I want to test right now is the Flex, or the G3 Instant. I have some questions that I'd like to answer or figure out the answer to about that, but I need the access point fired up in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug that guy in here. Just got an APAC Pro in here for the Dream Machine network, because I don't use the Dream Machine as my router. The Dream Machine for me is just kind of a testing playground. So this APAC Pro should be firing up here shortly, and with that firing up, let me take a look at it. Yep, it's booting up. I want to get the G3 Instant here online, so I'm gonna pull its power adapter and just plug it in. Let's just set it right there. Yeah, that'll be fun. I have a big USB-C power thing down here with a bunch of USB-C cables for charging up all of my wireless packs and wireless kits for video stuff. So I'm just gonna plug into that. Got 6 USB-C charging cables. I just bought a pack of these little short 6-inch ones. They've been working out pretty good. No complaints with any of that. I have it's either an Anker or an Aki multi-charger by my bed over there, and then I have the RAV Power one because it was cheaper under my desk here. And the APAC Pro is now connected. Cool. So now that the G3 Instant is firing up, I'm just gonna wait for that to boot up and we can go over into Unify Protect. Are you finding it annoying that remote access is down? Well, I'm using remote access right now and it's fine, and I haven't really ran into too many issues. I don't do a whole lot of messing with other people's networks unless I'm doing bulk updates, which usually I make sure an update is stable, make sure it's been tested in my testing playground, and then usually it's once a month that I go in and do batch updates to everything. Aside from that, I'm not really messing with people's networks all that much. I pretty much like to get everything to a working state and leave it until there's like security updates and obviously those types of things, in which case, yes, I want to make sure I apply those. But so I'm going to come over here to the devices page, and we have the G3 Instant. One of the things I wanted to see was, does it have an RTSP feed? So if I go to, does it manage RTSP? Yes, it does have RTSP feeds. So I can enable these guys. I'm just going to go and copy this link here, go into an incognito window. I forgot Google Chrome does not support native RTSP clients. Gee, thanks for that. We're just gonna have to download an RTSP client real quick. That shouldn't be too, actually, I realized I don't care. It has it, so I can answer that question. It does also have the option to disable the microphone and the reboot. But yeah, so that's that question answered, but I really just kind of want to come look at the camera real quick, because it's a nice camera. I really like the G3 Instant. You can kind of see how messy my desk usually is. I'm gonna change this to 1080p. I'm just gonna hold this over here. This is what I usually have going on at my desk. Not exactly the cleanest workspace, but for me it works because this is all stuff like script for the Wi-Fi or all the cable videos, the camera that I use in the comparison for the G3 Instant, some Tic Tacs, packing tape because I have to send a bunch of things off, and boxes. So all of the Aria Live cables that I was sent, I mean, they came in just about every different shipping option they could send them to me in. I had cables coming from California, cables coming from Florida. I had cables coming from all over the place. They did everything they could to make sure I had these cables. So yeah, that was nice, but a lot of packaging. And Diamond's asking, is it two-way audio? I've forgotten. Yes, so this thing does have two-way audio. 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 Yes, it does have two-way audio, and I love doing that. I love just waiting for the signal to get super degraded. So it's got the mic, and to use the two-way audio, you just use it through the phone app. Well, actually, I don't know if it has the two-way if the audio is two-way. I should double check that here. I'm gonna go ahead into Unify Protect. Protect. Cool. And I'm working on trying to get it so that way I can just grab my phone and integrate my phone screen into the feed here. So we have the G3 Instant. It's not showing me the controls for it. Then again, it is loading stuff. Hello. 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 Yep. Yep. This does have two-way audio through the phone app. So there you go. Waiting for a Stream Deck XL to arrive to use with ADEM and a bunch of other AV gear. Yes. The Stream Decks are awesome with Companion. I mean, if I can, hang on, I want to come over here, and I'm just going to create a new scene in OBS here. Stream rig screen. So we'll just add a display capture into here. Display capture, yes, sure. So if I transition this to live, so my Companion is doing a lot of things for me right now. So over in Streaming Land, if we come over to my intro sequence, this is all the stuff that the intro sequence does. It's pressing a lot of buttons. It's doing a lot of things. I'm controlling Pro Presenter, OBS in different ways. Well, this is the OBS page that I use. Muting sources, doing a bunch of things, video playback, different pages. So I have a video playback page. It's an amazing piece of software. Yeah, and I've been really happy with Companion. There's not a whole lot that it can't do. What I do want them to add, though, is some form of scripting into it. So I could create variables and grab variables, or I could grab values from the return feeds of, or the feedback feeds from different pieces of software. So I could create a button that would grab however long is remaining from a video playback in Pro Presenter. So say there's 2 minutes left on playback on a video, and I could press a button and it'll transition to a different scene in OBS or a different scene in the ATEM switcher after that 2 minutes has gone by in Pro Presenter. So it can grab things, do some different cool stuff. I really want them to add that. I don't think that would be too difficult for them to add. But yeah, Companion is amazing. Super cool software. We're using it up at the Crossing for, I don't think there are very many computers up there that don't have Stream Decks connected into them. We're using them all over the place. How do you have time to make it all? Must be so time consuming. Yeah. Yeah, this has been a lot of wee hours into the AM of doing all of this stuff for the live stream here, because I want these live streams to be able to have at least the production values as if they're done as a video recording. Because I mean, in editing, I can go back, I can add transitions, I can make sure that from camera to, this is just going to be my wide camera, but it's not actually connected, so camera to camera is a cut. Actually, that fades. I don't know why that's fading, but it's fading. But usually, different things would cut versus fade. So going from main camera to screen fades. Going from screen to screen with camera cuts. Different things like that, making sure that automatic transitions are already being applied. Things like that, making sure my audio sounds good, doing all my audio processing. Just trying to make sure that everything is as professional as I can possibly make it. But yeah, all I have to do now is make sure my content itself is a little higher quality than subpar. Oh, I had an issue the other day. So my computer was crashing, but it was crashing in a weird way. So it wasn't blue screening, but the computer would just go black, and then I had no control over it. I could remote desktop in, and it was a little tiny thing. So that told me that the display drivers were crashing. And then the whole system, like audio playback would still happen, but then the computer would just hardcore crash after that. Like it would just go dead. So there's a bug with the past few versions of the NVIDIA drivers when playing back ProRes. So it would only happen in Adobe Premiere, and it would only happen when playing back ProRes. And then I had some other weird issues where my 10 gig network card, so this is my RJ45 card. I currently have my fiber card in the computer. The RJ45 card would say that the Aquantia card could not find an Aquantia network adapter, yet it was appearing in my network devices. So I could see that the NIC was there. I could plug a cable in and it worked fine, but it would just be spitting out error after error in Event Viewer. You just see it, all of these error logs of it not being able to find a NIC, but it's like, I'm using the NIC, so it's working. So I pulled this out just to try and figure out what's happening. I was going to test this in a few different systems. But with the weird GPU crashes, it was weird. Like the fans didn't rev up like they normally do. You know how like when you first turn on your computer, the fans go, and then the whole thing just like settles back down? Yeah, it didn't do anything weird like that. It was just dying. Oh, and when the computer would just, at the end of the day, just like hardcore crash, it wouldn't shut itself off. I'd have to reset it. So it was being weird. Yeah. It was weird. I have no idea what's happening. You should show us your network setup. My network setup? Hell no. Hell no. My network setup is, you know, they say don't buy a mechanic's car. You shouldn't learn from my personal network. My personal network at the new house is going to be done right. It is going to be a pretty killer network. I currently have spec'd 96 network jacks. So yeah, it's going to be a big network. But my current network at this house, because this house is where I learned how to do all my networking stuff. So nothing was really done right. I was just kind of learning how to run cables, learning how to do my terminations and stuff. So it's a mess. My network setup down in the basement, all of my cables come out of the return vent, or they come from being strung across the basement ceiling down onto a folding table. And on that folding table, I have a Cisco switch, I have a server, and then I have my AT&T router. So all the cables, there's no patch panel. The cables just have regular RJ45 connectors on them. And then when I need to, so for a long time, this computer that's my streaming rig was my VR computer downstairs. But I also used it up here in my room for when I would have other people working with me or friends over, or I would need another computer. And so I used these remote KVM boxes, which worked fantastically. I'm also going to do a video about some things. I'm just going to be like a Stuff That Doesn't Suck series, because that way I can use the abbreviation STDs. And so I needed to bond together one of the network jacks in the basement to come directly up here to my room. So I just used, pass-through connectors, essentially, couplers. That's how I would do it. So it wasn't exactly the most professional job ever. But yeah, so I'm going to come over here to my computer screen real quick. And we can close out of these feeds here. I want to take a look at the G3 Flex. I'm going to get the G3 Flex fired up here real quick. Okay, so I think I have everything all connected up here. Let's check our live feed from the G3 Flex. Look at that. Yeah, so in terms of quality, honestly, I prefer the little G3 Instant. This camera's a pretty killer little camera, and it's, honestly, I found that it's higher quality than the G3 Flex at less than half the cost. So yeah, it's weird. Would you pay extra to have the UDM have PoE? I would pay extra to have the UDM have PoE and a switch inside that doesn't just have a 1 gig backplane, because that's absolutely stupid. If you have a UDM Pro, you essentially, you're not doing it right if you're using the switch built into the UDM Pro. It's only a 1 gig backplane switch. It's bad. It's bad. What firewall do you run? And wow, that's a lot of network jacks. Yes, it's a lot of network jacks. 48 of them are going to be just for the basement itself, for a lot of testing and just being able to have ports everywhere that I can plug into. But right now, I'm running the AT&T router. It's jank, but that ran into pfSense for a while. Then it ran into the MikroTik router, or the MikroTik router OS, I think is what they call it, that I was self-hosting for a while. And then I just kind of got frustrated with all of the stupidity that AT&T is doing. So I'm just using the AT&T router for now. And at the new place, I'm hoping to have Charter, so I'll be running probably a UDM Pro or something else. I'm not sure. But if I run the UDM Pro, that would mean I have to get a second UDM Pro, because I like having a UDM Pro dedicated for testing that I can wipe, that I can set up a bunch of weird stuff with. I don't like having my main network be my testing network. So yeah, that's one of those weird little things over here. So I'm going to come back to my screen, and looking at things over here, I have roles, and I haven't exactly messed around with these roles, but I want to see if I can create some custom roles. All right, so with these roles, what the hell is this? Master Shell 01? What? Okay, I want to use this. What the heck is... Who the heck is Grant Miller? Oh, these are everything I've ever typed into these weird fields. Oh my gosh. Oh, so that must have been when I interviewed Grant Miller at school. J3 Instant for my name of G3 Instant. What is Master Shell 1? And gjackmiller@gmail.com. My email is... I mean, yeah, that's my email, but why is it saved in as a random form? I'm gonna go with Master Shell 1 because this is funny. I'm gonna say that they can view these cameras. I wish you could do some more stuff like being able to see all recordings, past things, change different events. I think that'd be cool, but no, I guess we're just gonna have Master Shell 1 be only able to view all devices. Cool. So Master Shell 1 is now a user role. You may have been compromised. No, this is just Google Chrome remembering stuff that's remembering dumb things. Yeah, fun story. So there was another Jack Miller at my school, at high school with me, and he was a year older. So there were a lot of Millers. There were a lot of Millers at my high school. So there was another Jack Miller, and so one day I got home from school and my mother was not happy. She goes, "Where have you been all day?" And I'm like, school. She's like, "Are you sure about that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got on the bus this morning and went to school." She goes, "Well, it says here that you were not at school today." And I'm like, well, I was. So I'd been getting detention notices for this other Jack Miller skipping school. And I like went back to school the next day with those notices, and I'm like, these are not me. I am in 10th grade. This guy's in 11th grade. Please. No. Yeah, so there were some confusions, and then I was part of a group. I was on a tech team for this group, and the tech team consisted of Jack Miller, me, Jack C, and then Jack W. So it was the 3 Jacks. It was weird. There were lots of Jacks. Yeah, Diamond. F's in the chat for that. So general, this is what they can do. I'm not a fan of Ubiquity's roles and stuff. They don't give you enough control over things. I want them to have more robust things in their routers and stuff, not adding half-assed features. Because I mean that's really what they've been doing. Is all these features just seem like they're the most buggy things ever. So I don't know. I'm not super happy with what Ubiquity's been doing. Oh, hello, Lucas. How are you doing today? So, oh, you're really gonna make me do this, aren't you? Hey, Jordan, hang on. I have to. Oh, hang on. Google Translate. We're gonna have to do some Google Translate here. So Lucas says, "Will your technology help defeat the capitalist evil?" I guess. Thank you for that. All right, good old Google Translate. Yeah, so Ubiquity's just been kind of doing some weird things where they're just... It's like they're trying to branch out into too many directions. It's like, no, make one thing good and then go from there. Yeah. I saw a tweet the other day and I thought it was the most beautiful thing ever. Was kids in this generation will be wearing their $150 tennis shoes, drinking their $8 cup of coffee while typing on their $1,000 phone about how the capitalist system has failed. It's like, come on. Come on. Oh, Lucas, quit typing in Russian. I need to be able to understand this stuff. Okay, so at this point, we're just translating everything that Lucas is saying. Imagine you need to use translation. Oh yeah, well, Voinko Menavasan. Get that. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done on this channel. All right. Yeah, imagine needing to use translation. Yeah, well, you can't understand what I say here. And also remember, I know more languages than you, so eat it. And also, there is no way you were typing this as yourself, because I know Russian does not translate that well to English. So you are typing that into English, translating that to Russian, and then sending it to me to translate back to English. So quit that BS there. No. Okay, so moving on from this little stupid shenanigans. Donde está el baño? Hang on, I'm putting up chat. So this is essentially us referring, we're now getting into the process of talking about the bathroom, but in just different languages. So the only Spanish I remember, yeah, well, I said something about the bathroom in Finnish, so that's what my message was. Oh, this is being weird. Okay, so I want to talk about something actually relevant to things right now. So whenever I'm working, I like to have, you know, my 2 monitors. So I got a small little HDMI switch. It's right under my desk. It's passively powered. It doesn't require any extra wall bricks or anything. It's really nice. So I can just push the button and it'll switch my other monitor from my streaming computer to my main computer. I'm also using mouse without borders, so that way I can come over and use this other computer here with my 1 mouse and keyboard. And through Dante Audio, which is how I'm getting all the audio moving around here, I can also send the audio from this computer out the speakers of my main computer. So really, it's almost like I just have a separate set of processing power over here. So I'll be watching YouTube videos, throwing up render jobs on this computer as I'm working on my main computer, just kind of, you know, offloading some of the tasks to this computer. So that's become really helpful. And honestly, when I have to take the system down, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go back. Go back to the 7 monitors. There's no reason. It will help absolutely no one. I'm taking no questions. What? Oh yeah, no, there were 6 monitors, but we don't talk about the 7th. Okay, one of the things that I also thought was funny is people that use my Amazon links, I can see what you purchased through them. And y'all have bought some weird stuff. So I thought we might go through what has been purchased through my Amazon links, because I find that to be funny. So I'm gonna change this here, and we're gonna go through this. So we have a bunch of disposable face masks. We have probiotics things. Cool, great. We've got some probiotics. Keep in mind, every single Amazon link that I've ever generated has only been for a piece of networking gear. These are all what people had to have clicked my link, gone off on an Amazon tangent while in the same browser session, and then they bought all this stuff. That's what I find funny, is that it stemmed from a network switch or an access point or something like, yeah. So we have Ethernet cables, we have ankle braces, or weights, weights for people that are working out. Then, oh, that's my Amazon page. Then we have some Duracell batteries, some fountain pens. Oh, dang it. No. No. Where's the fountain pens? Oh, we have coolant filters, oil filters. Oh, it shuffled things up again here. Window treatment. So we have some coolant filters, an oil filter, some window treatment curtains, probiotics, and arm and leg weights. Like, this is just kind of gold at this point. Oh, it gets weirder. It gets weirder. Barrel outdoor cabling, not weird at all. Barrel fiber, this is some nice fiber. I've actually seen people use this stuff, and I've worked on some jobs with this stuff. Actually from Right AV, so the same thing. Good stuff. This thing, a bee pollinator. We got bee pollinators. Oh wait, where is it? I think I saw it. There's we got tissue paper. We got tissue paper in a bag, so this is probably some female. True cable. This is it. This is it. This was bought using my Amazon link, and I love it. I love it. I just want to touch your butt all the time. It's nice. I know. Again, all of this stemmed from links to networking equipment. This is gold. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. What's some other fun things? Oh, who's texting me? Oh, dang it. Lucas! Lucas, no! No! Some Cisco access points. So they saw access points, but then decided to buy Cisco instead of Ubiquiti, because I guess they thought Ubiquiti was too much of child's play. But, see, I don't understand the Cisco licensing model for things. I don't understand whether these access points need licensing or how these guys work, any of that stuff. Oh, Robert, so I put links in my videos when I talk about products. Now, people click those links and I earn... I'm sorry, I had to sneeze. So I put links in my videos and people can, you know, buy products, and I earn a commission for essentially referring you to that product. Now, but I can see if you buy those things, and I can also see, so if you click on, here, let's just go to one of my YouTube videos. If I go to, actually, we can just go to my website. Here we go. Let's go to my office, come to the technical services page. This just takes you to my YouTube channel. If I take a look at the, shoot, where's one, yeah. The complete 2021 guide. If I come over here and click this Amazon link here, yes, it takes me to this access point. But if I were to buy this access point or anything else within this browser session, within this Amazon tab, doesn't matter what I do. I could come out here and I could look up, food or gummy bears. If I were to buy any of these gummy bears, or if you were specifically to buy any of these gummy bears through any one of the links under my videos, I can then see it over here. So these aren't things that I've bought. These are things that you all have bought, which is kind of funny. Also some TurboTax and Geekworm Raspberry Pi 4 case. This is actually a pretty sick looking Raspberry Pi case. But it also has like a drive mount in it and stuff. I'm not a fan of the drive mount cases where they just bring the USB down through like an actual like chip. I don't exactly like that. But it's nice that it has backup power built in. Okay, so Ryan says that it's from these access points are from their small business lineup of things, so they don't have licensing fees. I'd be curious to play around with some more Cisco stuff, but at the hang on, I want that tab open. That tab's too funny. And the bee pollinator. I'd be curious to get in some of the Cisco small business stuff, because I have a I mean, my Cisco switch is a pretty nice switch, but I've never done anything with the licensing for it. As far as I know, I type in the commands to the command line and it does things. I don't really know. For the most part, I use it as a dumb switch. Like I have a few ports on a VLAN. I have 2 ports link aggregated together, but that link aggregation doesn't work. So anything you plug into those ports just goes down. So yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I'd be interested in taking a look at some more Cisco stuff. My thing is just, I hate command line. I hate it. I hate it. I know that's not exactly the networking guy way of saying things, but I just don't like the command line. To me, it's just annoying and frustrating, and I much prefer the Ubiquiti stuff where I can see, hey, all of my devices right here. This is my current home network. So we've got the fat bedroom switch, which is ironically in the basement. The USB Flex, which is under my desk here, and 2 APAC Pros. I need to rename this one. It was originally renamed, but I had an issue where I rebooted my server that houses my Unraid controller, or my Ubiquiti controller, and it's like, set up your Unify controller? And I'm like, you're supposed to be already set up. So I had to navigate to an autosave file, and this was the most recent autosave file. It was only like 2 weeks old, but I had made a few changes since then, and I had taken down my my Nano HD access point and some of the other stuff because I used them for my video about comparing access points to the Wi-Fi 6 one. So that was the U6 Lite video that I did. Yeah, so had to take down those access points. My house is right now running off of 2 APAC Pros, and there's a third APAC Pro in my room connected to everything downstairs. Those small business APs have GUIs. That's nice. I like GUIs. Have you ordered any of the Wi-Fi 6 LRs? I had an LR, but then I sold it to somebody who I did an installation for, because I did not, I don't need that access point here at my house. And yes, they do have a lot more throughput because they can do 160, they're 4x4 MIMO, and now that MIMO is able to send and receive data from multiple devices at the same time, it's pretty sick, and they can do 160 megahertz. But what I've been playing around with was the U6 Lite. I have the speed test numbers from, or the iPerf numbers from the LR access point. But what I really want to play around with is the access point that I have coming in the mail. So, hint, 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 hint. Yeah, so that's what I've been wanting to play with. And yeah, I feel like, see, my thing is Cisco, Meraki, they've got some Wi-Fi 6 stuff, but Meraki, it's like licensing fees. I bought your hardware. You're not really doing much for me in way of software. So why am I paying you monthly? Like, why am I paying you all these yearly things? It's kind of like why I have a problem paying Adobe so much money, because Adobe, their software, I mean, it's hard for me to edit with anything else, but overall in terms of optimization and stability, and their software sucks. Like, really sucks. It's bad. It's terrible. I can only use it on 2 devices at the same time, although I can use it on 6 because I pay them lots and lots of money. And they rarely come out with new features, so I have a very hard time paying them. Shoot, how much do I pay them? I pay them like $130 a month. Have a pretty hard time paying them for that. So what I'm about to do is, since I'm not, the media production side of Miller Media is slowing down and is kind of not coming to an end by any means, but branching off and going into a different direction. At least the licenses that I'm paying for, those 6 licenses are not for Miller Media. Those are licenses for me. So since I'm one person, I'm never going to be using, I'm never going to be using the Adobe Suite on all of my computers at the same time. So I really, in terms of a morality thing, I don't have a problem getting the free version of the Adobe stuff on like my laptops and stuff like that, because I'm one person. It just stops me from having to sign out and sign back in all of my computers whenever I want to use my laptop versus these two desktops. It's just annoying. Okay, man threw himself in Lucas is like, man threw himself off a ladder for the AP. I did. He was there. He was helping me run some of the cables. Yeah, I jumped off the ladder. I got the notification, looked at my phone, jumped off the ladder, ran and ripped out my laptop out of my bag, and yeah, that was fun. Yeah, Meraki needs a license. It's basically for the cloud-hosted management. I know, but it's just, give me on-site management for me. Are creators not entitled to compensation for their wares? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about... My motto is, let me pay you, but once. Like, back in the CS6 model of the Adobe stuff, it's like, yeah, it's $1,500 for Premiere, but I'm never gonna have to pay that again until I want the new features. But with Adobe not really coming out with new features, it's just like, all right, let me pay you one time for that license. And I'm just not a fan of monthly costs. And so the way that I go about handling that is I can't change what other companies do, but I can be the change you want to see. That's how I try and go about things. I mean, with my company, the way I handle like my IT and my video stuff is, you're not paying me monthly for hosting the Unify controller, or you know, being a phone call away if you have an issue. That's just something that I offer to just everybody, because you pay me once, and you should. I feel like that's all of the transaction we need right there. Now, if the products are still within warranty and they die, or they die due to like, hey, I messed something up, then that's something that I cover. But if it's like, hey, your cat knocked one of the Flex HDs off of your counter and it got crushed, like, no, that's something that you'll pay me for. I'll come out and put it in again, but yeah. Everything is moving to as a service. I don't agree with it. I believe it keeps people poor if you can't own anything. Exactly. Exactly. I don't need things to be a service. Now, music streaming, I can understand, but yeah, with software, I would much rather just pay for it once, which is one of the things that I like about Avid. They're still doing, I mean, they're pushing heavily their monthly costs, but they still offer perpetual licenses for things, which I greatly appreciate. And that's one of the nice things about Ubiquity stuff, is that you pay for everything once. You're not tied to monthly fees, even with their UNMS and their cloud management stuff. So I really appreciate that. But yeah, I'm gonna get my U6 Lite connected here because I want to run a couple iPerf tests against it and my APAC Lite. So I'm just gonna go to my computer while I do this. Give me just a second. Okay, I have the U6 Lite here. I realized that I just plugged it into my UDM network and not my main network. So, plug that in the main network, have a port on the desk for that. And this is the lol at nice hash. I have it connected here using the ARIA Live cable that I absolutely love, that I re-terminated in my video. This cable's been traveling with me. I love this cable. So I'm sorry, are you good here, fam? This thing like fired on and then just kind of shut off. I'm very confused as to what is happening now. Please tell me I'm unmuted. I am unmuted, yay. All right, cool, so let's unplug it and plug it back in again. Yay. All right, it's flashing. Cool. So we have the U6 Lite here. I'm going to run some iPerf stuff on this guy here. So UID is a Unify subscription service, I think. What is UID? Unify UID. Let's see what this is. Yeah, the Unify Identity app. We're considering a premium version for, let's see this. From what I can see, the app is supposed to be more than just access. It's going to encompass network and VPN as well. Can we just start with a little smaller scope and focus on access? You've released a door control system that has no way to answer the doorbell, unlock a door with your phone, remote unlock the door with your phone. Please just focus on the access part, yada, yada, yada. UID will remain free indefinitely for basic functions like door access and single-click Wi-Fi onboarding. We are considering a premium version in the future with more advanced features. What more advanced features do you need? It's running locally on my stuff. Just, I don't even mind if it's like a license, like similar to how Synology does camera licensing for their surveillance station software. So you pay for, you know, extra licenses for the extra cameras, but they're then tied to your account. So you can then, or they're tied to the device. I don't remember exactly how they work, but you can add more licenses, but you can transfer them later, and they're not subscription based. Like, let me buy that. Let me pay for that. I'm not going to be paying you monthly. Gosh, if Ubiquiti ever goes to monthly payments, that is when I will absolutely jump the gun to somebody else, because that, to me, is just the most frustrating thing on the planet. Yeah, there's now a cloud backup option on my UDM Pro. Yes, they have added cloud backups. I wonder if they're going to start trying to charge you monthly for that with the weird business directions Ubiquiti's been going. I think they took the wrong path there. In terms of, depends on what you're talking about. Whether if you're talking about the cloud backup option, that's nice. But at the same time, if you're talking about the more premium version, yeah, it's running locally on my own hardware that I've already paid you for. Stop. It's the most obnoxious thing ever. I refuse to do like products as a service, except for the Adobe Suite because I don't have another option. I've tried DaVinci Resolve. I like DaVinci Resolve. It's great, but I work more project-based than I do. Like the way that DaVinci Resolve handles things is if I come to my server here and we take a look at the 2021 folder, I have, let's say, the G3 instant video. I come in here, I have everything. The thumbnail, so this is my thumbnail for it. I keep all of my intro sequence, all that stuff. Yes, my intro song is actually called Call Me Daddy. Don't ask why, I have no idea. The delivery, this should go in the delivery folder, but I don't use that if I only have one delivery file. But edit files, I keep everything right here. DaVinci Resolve works on a database system, so you have one, you have, like, you'd use a server and have like a folder on your server, and that's where it stores all the project files for everything. So it's not based off of creating a new file for every project that you can put in a different location. Also, the way you import LUTs, you have to put them into the LUTs folder before you can use them in there. It's just, I don't like that. I don't like that. I work very container-based, so I stick to Adobe. And Final Cut can do this, works the same way, except for I don't like Final Cut at all. I like track-based editing, so that way if I come into Premiere here, this is the episode of Ride Along that is going to be coming out here. What is this clip here? Oh yeah, that's the organ. But if you come over to my audio track mixer, I have, this is actually very light process. Oh, there you go. This is actually some very light processing compared to what I normally do, but I have everything on tracks. So tracks 1 and 2 get sent out to submix 1 here, which runs effects on them overall. And then on the music track, I'm just dipping out the mids, so that way it makes room for my voice. So that way I can still have the music fairly loud. Typically, I would run the music at like what you're hearing now on the stream, which is at negative 42 dB. This is only running at negative 20 dB, but you can hear it. You can hear it and my voice at the same time because I've scooped out the mids. So being able to work track-based, having things not just kind of automatically magnetized together, and also adjustment layers. As you can see, I like adjustment layers. I use them a lot. So not having adjustment layers is kind of a really big deal for me. Also, so I nested this whole thing here, and the reason why it's taking so long to render is because I'm running denoiser on the whole thing. Because I filmed with some of the wrong settings, so denoiser. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but it's something that I have to do. Yeah, Diamond says the subscription is where they took the wrong path. I absolutely agree with you there. Other than that, I'm trying to think what subscriptions that I use. Well, I have the Adobe subscription, which honestly I've been trying. If they will add like just regular container-based projects versus database projects in database-based projects in DaVinci Resolve, I'll switch. I'm not tied to Premiere that much, and the way that Premiere edits versus the way that DaVinci edits is very similar, so I am fine with making that switch. But then it's all the other Adobe programs that I use and having them tie in together and stuff. But I can find other alternatives for that. There's the Affinity Suite. I don't do any really big team-based editing, but even if I did, DaVinci's better for that because it's database-based. But I wish there was an option for project or container-based versus database-based editing in DaVinci. That's something that I really think that they need to add, because then then that's me switched right there. But yeah, so the Adobe Suite is what I pay for monthly, and my music. Although my music is like actually a service, which is nice for me because, one, I use YouTube Music, so, and I'm grandfathered in through, so I'm paying like $8 a month still for YouTube Premium and YouTube Music. So with that, I'm able to watch ad-free on YouTube and everything, and get all of my music for $8 a month, which is great. And at the same time, like say I'm watching one of Willie Howe's videos, I'm not seeing ads, but at the same time, it's not he's not losing revenue. He's actually making more revenue because I'm watching with YouTube Premium than he would if I were to just watch those ads. So it's still a way of supporting creators while not watching ads, and also it doesn't require a bunch of workarounds on every device. So it's just kind of a universal thing. I very much like that. But then again, that is something that it's giving me every month. It's giving me something new and different. The Adobe Suite, it's like the same software I've been using. I mean, they haven't made any changes really that I've noticed to the Adobe Suite in the past. They added hardware, they added more NVIDIA hardware acceleration. It's about it in the last 5 years. I could take one of my projects right now, downgrade it to 2015, open it in 2015, and there wouldn't really be anything different. They haven't done anything. So that's where I run into a problem with that type of thing. Yeah, those are really the only subscriptions that I have. I do have Squarespace for my website, and the Google, my Google Workspaces, which Google Workspaces I can see being a subscription-based thing because it's not running on my own hardware. That's very much something that's up in the cloud, and it's not it's the ad features. It's not something that I'm installing, that I'm running, that is staying stagnant. Then there's Squarespace, which since they're also hosting my website, I'm fine with that. I wish there was a way I could host my own domain name, but I can't. But I've also been using my domain name for some more cool things. So I have internal.millermediastl.com, which essentially runs Quick Connect for my my Synology. And I have a few other things set up for forwarding through my domain. But yeah, that's really the only subscriptions that I use. I don't use too much. Like I think it's Subaru. But buddy of mine up at work, his car, he pays like $80 a year to be able to like remotely control like the heating and door locks in his car from his phone. Why? Why is that a monthly charge? It's just, I don't know. But, okay, I think I'm gonna start wrapping things up here. TLDR for this stream is I have a video that, because denoiser is running on the whole thing, is taking absolutely forever to render. This video will be coming out tomorrow, episode 1 of Ride Along. This weekend we'll be coming out with, be putting out the video for the Ubiquity network, or it's not all Ubiquity, but for the new network for Mr. Evans. And that network is pretty special for me just because, I mean, back when I was working with him, or when he was teaching me some things and talking to me more about the business side of things, I was still playing with a Apple Airport Extreme Gen 2 and an old Linksys 10100 switch in my closet. Like, he was one of the few people that kind of turned my just little random hobby into like an actual job and passion. So very thankful to him for that. Also, I commented on a Fiber Ninja video like last night, and within like 5 minutes, I got a reply from Fiber Ninja, which was pretty sick. And hang on, I want to pull that up. To me, that was special because Fiber Ninja is also one of those people that kind of, I mean, not really mentorship, but in terms of being a great resource. So, 5 cable modems in a mansion. I have so many questions. He responded to that, and then I came back with my other account, and I said, that's pretty badass. Didn't know you could bond the connections together like that. Also, I just wanted to say thank you for all of your videos. They have, here, I'm just going to come to my, oh, that's chat. Here. I just wanted to say thank you for you and all of your videos. They've taught me so much over the years. Not long ago, I was just a kid playing around with an old Linksys switch and Apple router that I bought from Goodwill in my bedroom. Now I get to travel all over the country and do some really cool networks. I've learned so much from your videos, specifically with patch panels and the actual use for a service loop. Currently, I'm on day 3 of a networking job with a cable bundle and rack I think you'd be proud of. He said, oh wow, that's so very encouraging to hear. I'm working on the road to redemption and new episodes still, but your words really do help me push through it all. So that made my day. Cause I mean, I work in the production world. I've worked with many people who are celebrities. I've done work with Poppy, did some video stuff with Demi Lovato, Charlie Puth, a lot of people that are in more of like pop. Heck, I've met Ariana Grande. Like, you know, doesn't get much higher up than that. But I mean, that's my job. Like, I'm used to that. And you never really get fully used to that. But at the same time, I can't, they didn't teach me anything. They didn't provide me, they specifically didn't really provide me with tools that I need for my job, for my passion. They just, they're the content. So also at the same time, I can't really fangirl over them because that's a very easy way of being asked or being told your services are no longer required, is if you start freaking out that you're working with somebody. That's, you got to keep it calm. But I mean, people like Fiber Ninja, they're learned so much from that guy. It's actually being able to have him know how much of an impact that he's had on my life and helped me with all of this stuff is, to me, that's really important, really nice. So I was kind of freaking out when I saw that. But yeah, so overall we've got a couple videos coming out. I'm gonna be getting to work on a video on the new Ubiquity products that I'm getting, just that way I can have some of the first videos out there about them. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Like this video if you liked it. If you didn't, there's another button. Please don't use it. I'd appreciate that. But if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that button. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.